Oregon, home to Deschutes Brewing, is a thriving community that's among the fastest growing in the United States. That's important because Deschutes will be building its East Coast facility here beginning in 2019. And the brewery has had an amazing impact on Bend's economy, and I wanted to find out if it might have the same impact here.
Give a little brake check out, just lean back into it.
When I wanted to know about the history of Bend, Oregon, the home of Deschutes Brewery, I couldn't resist a tour given on Segways. The first order of business, however, is how to ride one without falling off.
There you go.
Perfect.
Once trained, we headed off, mindful of the new Bend that we were seeing all around us, the Bend that has sprung forth over the past 30 years. The city's resurgence started in the late 80s, in part because of the establishment of Deschutes as a then small craft brewery.
This is so beautiful.
Add in significant outdoor attractions and amenities, growing tech and manufacturing sectors, and you see the Bend of today, a long way from the one that was dying when the timber industry went away.
The buildings were torn down in 1987.
Vanessa Ivy with the Deschutes County Historical Society led our group along the river, which is now home to parks, greenways, an in-river kayak park, and posh homes under construction. Not far away, the building beneath the smokestacks is the heart of what's called the Old Mill District. Once a factory, it is now home to an REI outdoor retail store, a perfect example of the cultural shift from Milltown to Brew Mountain Town. It was not so long ago that lumber mills were situated on either side of the Deschutes River, which was jammed with logs starting with the timber boom in 1916 and not ending until the mid-1980s.
As the logs were milled, they were deposited in the river down by Farewell Bend Park. They were floated up the stream to the mills, and then they were distributed.
So when you think about it, Roanoke was a railroad town that lost the railroad. Bend was a lumber town that lost the mills. There's a lot of similarities there, and both cities have outdoor attractions. What we're learning about on this Segway tour is more about the history of Bend, and we'll be looking for similarities with Roanoke.
Like Roanoke, Bend has a river flowing through the middle of it. Both have mountain bike trails only minutes from downtown. Both have mountains surrounding them, though Bend's nearby Mount Bachelor is, well, higher. Roanoke has a growing craft beer culture with 2 breweries in the city limits, but Bend, with 22, is a bit more mature. Bend's amenities have made it and Deschutes County among the fastest growing in Oregon in 2015 and the 7th fastest in the United States. But all of that took time.
So it's one of those 30-year overnight success stories where we just, we had very hard times in the early 80s when the kind of last of the wood products companies shut down here.
Which begs the question, could Roanoke do what Bend did?
In my experience, there's 2 directions they go: outdoor recreation and tech.
Deschutes CEO and founder Gary Fish seems to have a handle on how these things go.
We want to attract the clean business, the clean industry. We just came, out of a phase where, it was kind of the dirty industry, the heavy industrial phase of our development. So we want to swing away from that, and we're going to attract, all the tech companies, the clean industry that doesn't leave a mark but generates a lot of economic activity. Well, there's only every other community in the country that's trying to do exactly that same thing.
Roanoke started trying about 6 years ago with an intense effort to market itself as an outdoor destination, and arguably it's working. The recruitment of Deschutes, a great example. Could Roanoke, trying to go from trains to brains in what's being called a mountain metro environment, become to Virginia what Bend is to Oregon? It's too early to tell. But Deschutes is coming because of the similarities they saw between their home city and the Star City. And they're making no bones about the fact they hope to bring a little bit of Bend with them.
So, A lot of similarities
I
between the
know.
two cities, right?
Maybe we can get a Segway tour too.
Well, you know
That's
what?
pretty cool.
Maybe we could. So now, if Bend does have a downside economically speaking, it's because it does have a limited workforce. We have more workers here in Roanoke, and it's also isolated in the middle of the state, making transportation difficult. Roanoke has better transportation, a central location on the East Coast. We're so close to Philly and Washington and all that, and we have the Blue Ridge Parkway, and they don't.
It's so interesting to see, you know, back to back Bend and then Roanoke, and then just all the similarities there. It was a great way to visualize that. So how did you like the Segway tour?
That was interesting. I could totally see us doing that on the greenways here.
That would be really cool.
It would be.
It looked fun too.
It was a lot of fun.